Hey, Phil here with this week's video. I'm pretty excited again as usual. I made some changes to make your life easier as far as finishing up our setup for our dental niche. So I'm going to show you that, and it's all about making the forms work for you in Aweber and getting everything configured properly. So I tried to make it a little bit easier, so we're going to go ahead and look at that. So what we're talking about specifically is the Forms Manager for WordPress. So we're going to go ahead and go into that by clicking on Settings, Plugins, or just Settings, and then click on the Form Manager. And you'll see we have a couple of forms here. Of course, our current system, if you recall, is or at least one of them, is a two-form version, where our first form is a give us some information, and the second form is a qualifying form, meaning that we'll deliver the lead to the client if they in fact fill the form out. Okay, so that's the scenario, and that's why there's a test one, and there's the real forms I'm using. So I wanted to show you the changes that I made. If I click on this, you'll see that there are a couple of changes. And the significant one for this exercise is the autoresponder form fields. So what we want to be able to do is create our forms that will match the existing form. And I've also added a title. This will display on the form heading. And I've also added a drop-down selection, so if I want to change this form to a new one, I can just go ahead and pull in that form. So ultimately, see there's new fields and stuff like that, so I don't want to use that one here. I was just showing you as an example that our forms will always have the fields list required to support them in terms of the capture in Aweber. So that's the whole point of it. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how to set this particular one, the smaller one of the two here, and you'll be seeing this stuff in your blogs shortly. Just finishing up. This is noontime Thursday, so I'm just finishing up these changes, so I haven't had a time to update your blog yet, but I thought this was important because I wanted to make it so that we could go ahead and finish up the forms. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the rest of this. So now that we've got this, these are the required fields for our first form. And they do not include the email because that comes by default in Aweber and it's called from. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump over to Aweber and set it up. Okay, so here we are on Aweber, and we're going to go ahead and create our list and then create a form to use with that list based on what you just saw. So we first click on Create a New List, and then we'll be able to enter the list information. Let's call it, what do we want to call it? Let's call it Dental Niche. Okay. And it's available, so that's good. Alright, and then we'll just leave the rest, and we'll go ahead and save it. Obviously you can put other stuff in here if you want to, but you don't need to as far as getting this to work. Alright, so now we've got a list. So what we want to do now is actually go ahead and enter our custom fields. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so we don't have any yet because this is a new list. So we'll go ahead and enter the field names that you found. Oops, sorry about that. First name it is. Enter the field names that were found in your WordPress blog next to the form. In other words, here. Okay, these are the field names we need, and they correspond to the form here you're looking at. Alright, just trying to make life easy. So I'm giving you all the information you need just to create the forms. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll add all of them at once. So we'll go ahead and enter the last name here also. And then we'll need preferred location as well. So we'll just pick that. Okay. And we have one more important field, which is called Unique ID. So we'll scroll down and see that. Okay, here it is. Okay. There we go. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and save those. And now you're about to see why that's so useful, because as I mentioned, we already have all the UI for the forms, and that's what the form designer does for in Aweber does for you. So if you don't need it, then you don't have to do it, which is how we're going to take the approach here. So we're just going to do a demo form, like that, and then we're going to go ahead to the design. And you'll notice the important aspect here is our fields are already available because they're in the designer. Okay, and we don't need to do anything here. All we need to do here is save this, because the form that we made already has these field names in it and has already got the UI in it. So you don't need to do anything else except create the form and call it something. So we'll save it. And then what we need to do is get the HTML, because we need to see what this value is right here, this ID. Okay, so the next part of this video, I'm going to go ahead and plug in that information and show you a capture. Okay. Okay, so we're back here in our blog, and we're going to go ahead and use the information we got from Aweber. And specifically what we've done here is taken the code value that I showed you, the list ID, and put it here, and the list name is here. And that's all you have to do. And you have to make sure that this is set to ALG plus Aweber to go live. Okay, so again, the ALG setting is for your own purposes as far as testing the capture across to ALG without sending the leads to your Aweber. And you definitely want to make sure that's set properly when you want to go live. So let's go ahead and save this. And then we'll jump over to the blog and do a quick capture and show you that we're live and ready to go. Okay, so I'm back over at our lead page, and I'm going to go ahead and fill out the form and select a location. Say Concord. Okay, and I'm not going to go through the whole process here. I'm just showing you that we can use the list we just set up the way we did to capture the lead. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll end up on our additional request page. Okay, so my idea here is not to show you all the rest of it. I just want to show you the capture works. So when we get to Aweber, we'll have the lead information in the list I just entered. Okay. Okay, so we're back in here in my Aweber account, and this is the list we're highlighted on that we just created, and you'll see there's an entry here, so we did get our subscription, our lead, and we want to go ahead and look at that lead detail just to show you. So we'll go ahead and search for our subscribers, and it will get the list, which will be just me, the lead I entered. And just to show you the details here, okay, here it is. So here's the lead. I didn't click on the confirmation link yet, but of course, obviously I'll get it because I'm here. So I'm going to just drill down to the details and show you that we did indeed capture things properly. We got first name, last name, preferred location, and the unique ID. Okay? And that's everything we were trying to capture. So that's basically pretty straightforward as far as setting up forms and getting the capture to work properly and making sure all the names are coming across properly and so forth. So hopefully you'll be able to finish off the stuff that I've done for you and your blogs by creating these forms in Aweber that correspond to what I've just shown you. So that's it for now, and I'll talk to you at our meeting. Thanks.